Here.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? We're now live. It's your boy PTK BLAM back with another episode of the Shop Podcast. It's been a busy day already for me personally. I did that Q&A with Mooch. If you haven't gotten a chance, everybody that's listening and watching it, go check that out. It's up on my channel as we speak. Appreciate the love and support. So today is another Saturday, another episode of the Shop Podcast. Got some great people with me. Got a great group of guys with me. We're chilling this evening. Gonna talk about a bunch of good information and a bunch of good news, a lot of different things. So I want to go ahead and go around the panel, allow everybody to just go ahead and introduce themselves as we typically do. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my right-hand man, GKB. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What's up, guys? It's GKB, Gamers Knows Best. Excited for another Shop podcast with all these great guys. It's going to be a great show.
All right. Then we got Rand, Mr. 1 Million Gamer Score himself. Go ahead, brother.
Sorry for ruining the intro, PTK. I didn't know we were going live. I had just come back from going to the bathroom, and I didn't know if Tim was here. So and then I saw in the corner it was live. I'm like, I fucked up.
It's all good, brother. No cuts, no editing here, brother. So he's good. Yeah. So that's Rand. Everybody, you guys know, familiar with him. Got another guest on here, Livewire.
Oh yeah, it's your boy Livewire, brought to you by Red's Wicked Apple.
So we got a plug, man. Make sure they cut all of us that check. All right, so everybody knows this next guest, man. He's a brother of mine, man. A really, really, really good friend. I'll go ahead, Tim Dog.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me again. My name's Tim Dog. You can follow me on Twitter. Hear me around. I come on this podcast and a couple of others. That's me. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, make sure if you're gonna talk to Tim, make sure you have 500 followers and up. Otherwise, it's unacceptable.
5,000, right?
Yeah, 5,000. Oh yeah, there we go. To 5K and up, man. Keep the standards high. All right, so it's gonna be another great show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. This week's been pretty up and down. Like I said earlier, went over some things earlier on the Q&A with Mooch, but we still gonna rock out. So. First thing I wanted to talk about, fellas, is I want to talk about, I didn't get to do this on the actual Q&A, but about EA kind of doing their own thing at E3 this year. I wanted to go over that, get you guys' opinion, go around the panel. What do you guys think about that? You guys think about it's going to be something that they're going to be doing this from now on, or is it just kind of a one-time thing? Or because, EA is a huge, huge publisher, and they do have a lot of money, so they do have the means to do it. They pretty much have a lock with the third parties right now. So just go around the panel. Let's go ahead and get your opinion on that. GKB, think about EA having their own situation at E3.
Yeah, sure. So I was doing a little research on this. It's a EA fan event. It's going to be happening before E3. They're still going to have their keynote. They're going to talk about, all their upcoming games and everything. I think it's going to be great for the fans. It's going to be open to the public, so anyone can come in and check out their games. The E3, has its stigma for. EA has its stigma for being one of the worst gaming companies out there, or publishers. I think they're working on trying to redo their image in a sense, and I think this is another step for them. I definitely don't think they're even the worst. I think Activision, in my opinion, out there is the worst out there. But I think it makes sense. If you think about it, going to E3, it costs these companies millions of dollars. They probably fight for different spots on the E3 floor. So them going out and getting their own little venue for people to come out and see their games, I think that's the way to go. I think it's definitely good for the fans.
All right. What do you think about it, Matt?
You let everybody else go, and then because I got a conspiracy theory that I think about this. So I want to hear what everybody else thinks before.
All right, so go ahead, Livewire. What you think about EA kind of having their own fan fest event, a la Xbox, what they did last year?
I think what they're going to show is stuff that's going to come out, and maybe that's what they want to show at their fan event like this year, and they're going to save all their big surprises for, Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo, if Nintendo is getting EA. But that's what I'm thinking. Other than that, yeah, it could be for the fanfare as far as because of their reputation. Even though they got EA access, I don't see there's no other company doing shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
but they don't get any press off of it. They don't even do commercials for it. I don't understand that shit at all. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still a little pissed at them about that whole 2K shit. Because I'm on my NFL 2K. So, you know, it is what it is. But they not total assholes. They're getting better.
Yeah, they're actually not as bad as, like you said, like Paul was saying, I think Activision has actually been worse this generation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's actually done a lot of good things. The whole EA Access, they've been doing some very good things this generation. So I don't ripe on them as much as I used to. You know, they just get the reputation of being the worst video game company in America, but it's not even that way anymore. So go ahead, Tim. What do you think about EA having their own little fan fest event?
I think it's a nice idea, but I'm a little confused. Are they going to have a keynote at E3?
No.
No, it's before.
See, I don't like that part because I feel like E3 is an event for all. I think it should be as special as it can be, and when you have a big company like that kind of bowing out, it kind of takes a little bit away from it. So I'm not really a fan of that. But on the flip side, it's pretty cool if you get a little early. I think it kind of extends the news week because it's going to be before. The Fan Fest is a nice idea, but I don't like the fact that they're kind of shortchanging E3. Like I said, I think E3 is a special event, and if all other publishers start to do the same thing, it's going to make E3 less special. So from that point of perspective, I don't like it.
That's true. I don't think. I mean, honestly, like I said, I don't think EA is one of the rare companies. Them and Activision, Bethesda, those are a few companies that could actually pull something like this off and do it on their own. Just because of the games they have behind it, they're big enough companies. So I don't think it'll catch on and become something that like every publisher is going to be able to do. It may be. It's kind of a cool thing to do, like you said, for just the public and for the people. Get in there, play some games early. It's open to the public, so you don't have to like buy a ticket or be pressed or anything like that. So it's definitely a nice gesture. But I can see where you're coming from. So let's go ahead and let's everybody put their tinfoils hat on. It's Matt's turn. So.
Well, okay, so you have to look at this from like the news cycle, right? Like EA saw what Bethesda did last year, right? Saw that Bethesda got huge headlines for going first, going before everybody else with their whole Fallout 4 thing. And this year they don't have a press conference because they're not releasing any games really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but the big thing is the reason they're doing this, I think, is because they know that no matter what they do, it won't matter because Nintendo's going to be showing off new hardware. All the headlines at E3 this year will be about the NX, will be about all the games for NX, will be about Metroid and the new Mario and the new Zelda and the new Smash Brothers. Like, every single headline will be about that. Nobody's going to care about what Sony does. Nobody's going to care about what Microsoft does. Nobody's going to care what Ubisoft does. The headlines will be completely dominated by Nintendo. And I think EA is smart enough to realize that. And they have actually a really strong lineup. So what better way to actually get some press for them a few days before the Nintendo drops the NX bomb than by showing off Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 5 and Mass Effect Andromeda, and at least get a couple days of press before everyone just is talking about Nintendo stuff for days.
That's a good point. I think I think you're right, and I think we've kind of underestimated that because Nintendo really hasn't made much noise this generation with the Wii U and its shortcomings, but everybody's pretty much grandfathered Nintendo. So Nintendo comes out with some news, especially a new console. And people get behind it. I think you're right about Nintendo dominating the news at E3, especially if they do like an on-stage.
Well, yeah, because I don't think they're going to do a direct. I think they're going to be there with a huge stage presence because they have to. They have to because NX has to be relevant, and if you're relevant, if you're part of the industry, you have to do the dog and pony show, right? Yeah. You have to be on stage. You got to have the machine there. Like, I can just see it now. Dude, Nintendo fans are crazy, and I know as much as the media hasn't really been in Nintendo's corner, a lot of the people in the media still love Nintendo. They just have been
That's
down.
where I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. People have this soft spot in their heart for Nintendo, and I can definitely see the media when they unveil that, whoever walks on the stage and pulls that little black paper towel
Yeah.
from over the console or whatever is covering the console, and that's going to be the big headlines of these. You got a lot of people. We do this, back and forth with Sony and Microsoft, but people forgetting the draw that Nintendo has, man. They have a lot of great fans, and a lot of us are still Nintendo fans. We're just waiting for them to do something.
Yeah. And I just see the headlines, dude. New Zelda's gonna wow. A brand new Mario game.
Mario,
new
Metroid.
Metroid. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
like it's just gonna be complete Nintendo love fest at this thing. Because I expect the system to be powerful, and like and that's another thing. Nobody's expecting new hardware from Sony or Microsoft until at least 2019, 2020, right, Tim? Like that's.
Yeah.
So I mean, like this is like kind of like new and E3 when it's new hardware, people get amped.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're showing off new stuff with new games, and I think they're gonna dominate all the headlines. And I think this is EA like saying like, hey, we're gonna go first, and just so we can get some press for our stuff.
You think that too, Tim? You think that Nintendo will dominate once they reveal their new console?
I mean, you asked me, right?
Yeah.
I think it'll do. It's definitely going to be the talk. Whenever there's hardware, it is the talk. But I don't know what their plans are for E3 because, they do that Nintendo Live thing. But I wouldn't be surprised if they hold their own event on a different. They kind of pulled out of E3 the last couple of years. So I don't know if there's official confirmation that they're going to. Be doing that, but in my opinion, if they do, it's going to make E3 that much better. And yeah, they will hold a lot of the talk, but depending on the specs, it might not be a good thing either.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. And there's also that thing where I know this is just kind of pie in the sky type stuff, but I know these documents and different things saying that one part of the system will be released this year, then the next part next year. So how is that gonna I don't know if that's true or not. If it is like kind of a handheld / home console, so is it are they gonna do okay? Here's the first part here's the handheld portion, and then next year we'll announce actual console. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, to Rand's point too, if they do say they do 2 parts, right? Either way, they're probably going to dominate the media, either bad or good.
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah.
It could be horrible, and they could literally come out with a console, and you'd be like, what the fuck is this? Nintendo gave us a fucking controller with strings and shit again. Like, what the bullshit? And you sit there, and that's all the media will talk about. They'd be like, oh, man, I think Nintendo has lost their fucking minds. Like, they fucking lost it. They came out here with strings, and... it's crazy, and they got another tablet instead of one. You got 2 tablets now. It's crazy.
Don't they historically go on Tuesday or Wednesday, like their keynotes usually?
Yeah. Well,
because they're not usually on Monday, like when Sony and Microsoft go.
Well, when they actually had a press conference, weren't they before Sony's? I kind of.
No, I think they were after Sony.
They always go in the middle, right?
Sony's is always
late. They're you're right.
Sony's always the last one. I'm just trying to remember because last 3 years they do the direct because the Wii U was such an abysmal failure that there was no point for them showing up. But now they have a reason to show up because I'm this is it for them, man. If NX fails, they're done. Next thing you'll see is them selling software on the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, let's go third party.
I wouldn't mind that.
They do them
I wouldn't mind that either.
Mario's ass over here to the Xbox.
But think about it though, the media would play up because the media wants to root for Nintendo because they're the underdog now and they have been for so long.
Yeah, the media is generally nice to Nintendo.
They play up anybody who's losing. They root for the underdog for the most part.
Well, except for Xbox.
Xbox is not an underdog. It's hard to be the Xbox reminds me of the kid in school, and you're like, man, that dude dresses like a fucking bum. He's such a fucking bum. He doesn't do his hair, and then you go over his house and he lives in a fucking mansion. You're like, what the fuck? That's Xbox. That's literally what it is. You're like, why do you dress like a? Because I don't have to. I have money. I don't give a fuck.
So is Sony the guy that dresses in a suit, but when he goes home, it's a cardboard box?
Exactly. That's pretty much what it is.
Oh, my God. Shots fired. Everyone fired.
I didn't say it this time, though. Was it?
Guys are a mess. This is crazy. Yeah, but I mean, I think Nintendo they've been in a very enviable position because they could literally do nothing. They haven't done much of any goddamn thing to say, hey, we're making a system, you guys, and we don't know exactly what the fuck it is yet, but we're making a system. They could literally, I mean, there's so many things to be addressed on Nintendo's system. It's not even funny. You're talking about infrastructure. You're talking about third-party support. You're talking about just knowing the direction that they're trying to go in. Like, they have a lot of question marks, and nobody brings it up because it's Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really harps on them about it at all. So, I mean, they're in a very, very enviable. They could literally do anything they want, and all they got to do is put something out decent. Everybody will forgive them, and we'll all move forward with this next Nintendo console. So they don't really have to try that hard because people are kind of like, it's Nintendo, so they're just kind of giving them a pass. But I hope they come with something great for everybody for this next console. So great topic, everybody. Great opening discussion. So another one I wanted to talk about was it's kind of been I didn't really hear too many people talking about it, but the fact that the CEO of Destiny was let go. Now this is coming on like the heels of the news that the game, whether it be Destiny 2 or the other big DLC that's supposed to come out for the Destiny now, is going to be delayed. They didn't say when it's going to be delayed. It could be 2017 or later, whatever the case may be. So I'm not exactly sure if those two tie in, but it sounds like they just kind of had a vote on the board and they kind of just let him go. I mean, they made it seem amicable in the article, but who knows? You never know what goes on. Maybe he just decided he wanted to go do something different or whatever the case may be. But I wanted to get the panel's idea of what's going on with that situation and the impact it could have on Destiny moving forward. So let's go ahead and start with Tim on this one. What do you think about that situation, Tim?
In regards to, one second, I was just.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it. The Destiny CEO.
Oh yeah, no, I was listening. Yeah, I guess I think on the heels of it being delayed, it might have been there's a little something to that because I heard it was a surprise. I heard some conversations yesterday, or I wasn't in them, but just heard through the grapevine that people were surprised that happened. So it seems like maybe they weren't happy with the delay, or I mean, I don't know how they wouldn't be happy with all the money they made, but yeah, I do think that it has something to do with that, and I do think that it's going to be delayed. So that all makes sense to me, to be honest. And like I said, it wasn't something that it was something where people were talking about it like, wow, I feel bad for the guy, people who knew him. So it wasn't something where it was like happy, he wanted to get out or something. It seems to have come as a surprise.
Good point. What do you think about that, Live?
Well, as somebody who's not a big fan of Destiny, well, you know what it is? I think the big issue that they have is they basically ran out of content, or they can't produce enough content in enough time in order to sustain Destiny 1 until Destiny 2 comes out. But the thing is, it's like if you ever watch a game show and you play the game show to win money. Well, guess what? Now you're just playing the game show, but there's no more money to win, so you're just playing it. Who's going to stick around for that? And that's basically what you're asking players to do on Destiny right now. It's like there's nothing else for you to win. So will you still continue to play this game just for the hell of it? And most of the people that are playing the game are playing it for the prize or the loot or the gear or whatever. So I don't know, man. I think it's going to hurt them because I don't know if they're going to come back unless they want more loot. Like, is that going to be enough for people to be like, do you want to go and experience this again? This loot grab again. Like, is that really why you wanted to play Destiny? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny's a weird situation because they when they first announced Destiny, they had these big ideas, and remember they had to cut some things out of Destiny, the original idea that they had before they dropped it. But there was some things, the entire story got changed and everything like that. But they've kind of like, I don't know. I mean, they've kind of stripped everything away from their game. Like, they touted it as this MMO RPG type situation, and it's just stripped down to like a loot fest. Like you said, it's kind of a repeated loot fest, and then when they do add things, it's like trivial things like sparrow racing and shit. Like, nobody really wanted to do that. Like, who wants Sparrow Racing to win another fucking pair of socks? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that big of a deal. So, I don't know. Destiny's kind of a weird game, but let's go ahead and finish off this topic. Matt, what do you think about Bungie CEO stepping down?
Well, somebody's got to fucking take the blame for what's going on with the game. Might as well be the fucking top man at the company, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, what's wrong with the game? Well, it's making money. The Destiny King did well.
Well, so it's not so much that the game is doing bad. It's that so if you go read the Kotaku articles from Jason Schreier about the game, like everything goes behind it. The whole problem with Destiny stems from the fact that the engine the game is running on is a piece of fucking shit. Like, it literally takes, if you go read it, like, they have to, like, turn on their debug units or whatever it is, and it, like, literally takes, like, 9 hours to boot up, and then for them to move, like, one thing 1 centimeter, and then they hope it doesn't crash. So the problem is, like, all these people working on the game, it takes forever to make content because the engine is so shitty. So because it takes forever to make content, like, they can't promise fans that there's content coming because they don't know if they can make it in a timely fashion, and then they realize that we need to make stuff for Destiny 2, but so it's like, it just snowballs onto each other. They can't make content fast enough. So, Activision's breathing down their neck for revenue. It's why those emotes and all that stuff are in there, so, like, they can get some short-term revenue. But Activision, they're the publisher. They want, like, money, like, coming to them, like, now. Like, do you remember that leaked contract where it was, like, Destiny would come out, and then, like, Comet would come out the year after, and then Destiny 2 the year after, and then the next one? They're behind on those things. And the problem with the game is that, like, the risk you always run, and when a game like this, which needs content to be able to be enjoyed, right? Especially if you have everything, is what happens if people leave the game and never come back, ever. Like, even when new content comes out. So, like, Destiny 1 may be fine, but what if you lose everybody for Destiny 2? And then what if you're just on this, like, huge downward trajectory for the franchise?
That's true. That's a good point.
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, new CEO come in there, kick some ass, like, get his people in, maybe do some tweaks to the engine, maybe get a new engine. Like, because the future of Bungie's on the line.
Would be a lot, though. A new engine, you're talking.
Yeah, rebuilding everything.
Huge deal.
Yeah.
It would be. I mean, they already have 600 people working on the game. They got 500 plus at Bungie, plus 100 and something from High Moon Studios, like, working on the game. So there's not a lack of manpower. It's just a lack of proper tool sets.
I think it's scary too. You see with the Division, people want something kind of fresh, I think, and Division kind of is along the same lines. So maybe that makes them nervous too, that they could see people transitioning into a game like the Division. But like I said, as far as I know, or from what I heard, this was kind of an unexpected event. So this is definitely they're pissed, I guess.
Well, it leaves a big hole in the schedule for the year because everybody just assumed Destiny 2 would be coming out in September. So now you have this big gaping hole. So some smart publisher is gonna fucking fill that hole. Whether it's Microsoft with slotting in ReCore now, or Sony slotting in one of their games. Like, now there's a window of opportunity that is now there that wasn't there.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, maybe somebody can capitalize on that too. Okay, all right, Paul, what do you think about Bungie CEO stepping down?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of what everybody's saying. I think it's a lot of they overpromised and underdelivered, and Activision's like, where's my revenue? Without any content coming out, they can't make any more money. So I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why. And I think for with them getting pushed back and delays, I think it's opening up a big opportunity for Division to capitalize here, because that game is just crazy good right now.
Yeah. Good point. And Tim brought up a good point too about the fact that the Division is a lot of people are comparing it to Destiny. And I said this on the Q&A earlier with Mooch. Shout out to Mooch if he's listening. On the Q&A earlier about the fact that Destiny is kind of become a victim of itself. And if you realize, like, Destiny, half of the hype for Destiny was just the fact that Bungie was making a game that wasn't called Halo. So if you think about it that way too, I mean, because if you take the game and you look at it now compared to where it was at, it's not in some kind of incredible game, like amazing experience that's rewriting the wheel or something like that. Like it's a good game, but it's all over the place. There's really no story. Content is every like 6 to 7 months, and the content that you do get sometimes is a little lackluster. Every DLC that comes out makes the previous DLC irrelevant. So it's a difficult game to gauge. But I do agree with all you guys' opinions on the fact that there was something to that that has to correlate between him stepping down and or getting fired and the game being delayed. I definitely think there was something. Those tie-ins.
The other thing there too, BLAM, is a game like an MMO like Destiny and even probably the Division coming out is a game like that can't be stagnant. You always have to get new features, new stuff in there to keep the player base happy. Like stagnant just kills these kind of games.
Yeah. And like I said, every DLC that comes out makes the other one irrelevant. So I get this new DLC 6 months or 4 or 5 months down the line. I'm like, well, damn, all these guns I've compiled and all these events that I've gone through and all this grinding doesn't mean shit because all my weapons now are low level. They don't do any damage or whatever the case may be. So it kind of, and the fact that the way they're doing the DLC microtransactions, and it's just blatant, like, I don't have anything else to do, so let's give them something to spend their money on type situation. Don't
you think it's kind of odd too that like they're under Blizzard Activision and like I don't know, they haven't like picked Blizzard's brain like on how to rectify any of these problems?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point too. A good point. I don't know. What do you think about that, Matt? Blizzard is tied into Activision.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Yeah. So okay. All right. Well, that was a good topic also too. That was a good topic. All right. So let's go ahead and move on from that. So the next thing I want to talk about, fellas, is I want to talk about. I know this was posted very, very recently, probably about 20 minutes before we started the podcast. It was posted that the numbers, it's like a marketing firm that does numbers, obviously. They keep track of like articles for different companies and the amount of articles per month, per year, per game over a certain period of time. And, the numbers are pretty crazy, and it's pretty telling on kind of what a lot of us Xbox fans have been talking about now. Let's look at this two ways. Before I ask you guys your opinion on this topic, let's look at this two different ways. We can look at this as it being Microsoft's possible fault for the marketing, Microsoft not putting themselves out there, timing as far as games coming out, or we can also look at this as just being like a clear bias in the media. I don't want to get too deep into the bias. We beat that to death already, but the numbers are pretty clear. I mean, I don't know if all you guys have seen it, but the fact that they're typically, on a month-to-month basis, the numbers are about 2-to-1 in Sony's favor as far as the amount of articles that are out about, these systems and the products that these systems, are involved with. So let's go ahead and get Tim's opinion on that first.
Well, there was getting a little bit of an echo. I find the numbers a little disturbing or a little alarming because we know that Sony's going to be more covered, but I didn't think it was that big. Okay.
Yeah.
You look at December, and there was things that were going on with Xbox, with Arc and the preview and how successful it was. And it's like 52,000 to 29,000.
It's a big difference.
You look at November, Xbox had Tomb Raider. You look at all these, you look at, the two things that stood out to me was this 2-to-1, and also the Halo 5 was below Bloodborne, which doesn't make any sense to me because I understand Bloodborne was earlier released and it had DLC, but I just find that when you have a game like Halo 5 and it's such a big game and there's so much to it, I found that really eye-opening that Bloodborne was covered more. And listen, the thing that I have an issue too is because you look at 2-to-1 articles, but it's about 10-to-1 articles when you're talking about negative articles. A lot of Xbox articles you'll see, like the article that was just put out by an outlet, 10 things that annoy me about Xbox. Yeah, you see so many negative articles. So not only is Xbox getting beat by 100% or 50%, however you want to look at it, they also have more negative articles. So I find it, honestly, it's kind of vindicated. I feel a little vindicated because I've been saying this for the longest time, and it's just when you see it like that and you look at it, there's really there's no debating it. We do know that Sony is more popular, so it should get a little more articles. But when they really didn't have anything in the holiday season, and you see the same ratio, and you see a game like Bloodborne getting more hype press than Halo 5, to me you're looking at a huge shift in the way the way the Xbox is being covered. Now people tell me, people said, the marketing, this and that. Xbox and Sony have pretty much the same marketing budget. I think Sony was $1 million more. It was $31 million to $30. There was an article that was put out there by PlayStation Lifestyle, PlayStation, one of the outlets. But yeah, that's pretty. It's pretty damning, to be honest, that it's that big of a difference, and those numbers were kind of. Like I said, they were vindicated. I felt a little vindicated, but at the other end, I kind of feel that that's kind of shitty for Xbox because of so many negative articles too. On top of that.
All right. So yeah, that's true. I mean, especially when you look at the months and you see E3 was like double in June, July. October when Halo came out was almost double. I think that was like the closest month was October. It is very telling, and you can probably look at it and relate it to a lot of different things. Just the fact that Sony is more popular currently at this moment worldwide. Sony does have a bigger install base, so you can that too. And I don't know the way the articles were counted, if they were going by like major publications or like every little somebody sitting in their basement can put up an article about Sony, and are they counting that too, or are they counting it from just Kotaku and IGN, places like that? So. I'm not exactly sure, but Live, what do you think about that, man? The disparaging difference between the amount of articles for the two consoles.
I mean, where do I begin? It's a lot of bullshit going on here. It's a lot of bullshit. I smell it all. You know what it is? To me, Sony has always been the artsy, fartsy type. Like they make those games, right? It's almost like they cater towards like how the people go for the Oscars. A lot of times you get these movies you never even fucking heard of. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, they won a fucking Oscar? How the fuck? What is this game?
Yeah.
I mean, what is this movie that won an Oscar? And then all the movies that you normally watch or you thought that were really great, they don't even get mentioned, half of them. And that's kind of how Xbox is. It's like, their games are like these big games, but they don't get recognized as great because they're not these artsy, fartsy type games that Sony makes. Even though few people play those games, like few people watch the movies in the Oscars, I don't know. It's like the media just caters towards that crowd, and I know they have more consumers, more PlayStation owners, which is crazy because they don't fucking play those games. Like the games that they like, the what was that game? Bloodborne.
Yeah.
What was it? 3 million, maybe.
I don't know. Last time I checked, it was somewhere around 2, I believe, but it could be 3 now.
And look how hard they had to push that bitch in order to get it 3. Like they had to push it, have more articles than Halo to get that bitch to 3 million. Like that's crazy. Like you can't tell me there's no media bias with a game like that nobody gave a fuck about until it became a PlayStation exclusive. because nobody was talking about Dark Souls games like that. Like, fuck out of here. That's a bunch of bullshit. But it is what it is. It's the reality of the situation as it is right now because PlayStation has more console owners, so they just gravitate towards those consumers more. I mean, I don't know any other way to explain it. Those people click more, so therefore they.
Yeah, makes sense.
It is what it is. I mean, that's what money is. It's on the click. They go where the click at.
Good point. So, Matt, what do you think about that, brother?
I'm kind of like I agree with Live. Like the fact of the matter is, to these people, these outlets, media, it's all about the money at the end of the day. It's all about the clicks. It's all about the ad revenue, right? So you would expect them to favor the PlayStation for the simple fact that there are more PlayStation users. So kind of makes sense like that. Although I also kind of agree with Tim in the sense that it is alarming that Microsoft's biggest exclusive was so low, like ridiculously low. Like that kind of like struck me as odd. Like Halo 5, maybe that goes to how like tired of a franchise Halo is. Like there's been so many of them now that like people are just don't care anymore. Because if the articles did well, like say. Because what it is with the media is like they write an article about something, and if it gets a lot of hits, they'll kind of expand upon it and do another one. Mm-hmm. If they're writing a Halo article and nobody clicks on it, then they're probably not going to write another, right?
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
I bet you the negative Halo articles did better than the positive ones, though.
And I know Tim said he thought like December was weird, but like I don't think it was that weird because they did have a press conference in December. The PSX was in December.
I didn't think that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So like because when I originally looked at it, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of. But then I was like, oh wait, PSX was like the beginning of the month, so I was like, all right, well, but I mean, there is. I'm not gonna say a bias, but there is a favoritism. I mean, this gen clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, the media favors the PlayStation and Sony. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Well, what about being more critical of
and
Microsoft?
they are more critical of Microsoft for sure.
Why is that though?
Because of what happened in 2013. You know the reason why.
Okay.
They don't trust Microsoft because of what happened at the end of the 360 generation with Kinect and no exclusives, and then trying to take and then the whole like review stuff.
But I do think that you have to take into consideration that they've changed heads, and they're on a pretty it's pretty obvious where they're going with their console. Whereas on the flip side, you have like Sony doing things like Let's Play. They just filed again for Let's Play trademark,
which was weird that nobody was talking about that.
And like nobody picks that up.
Nobody picks it up. Yeah. And then Sony consolidating down. They have like a American Vision also too. I think they just consolidated down for PlayStation 2. So I mean,
do y'all watch CNN, Fox News, and MSN? Y'all watch those channels? Now, we all know CNN is supposed to be kind of like neutral, right?
Yeah.
And Fox News is obviously, the Republican channel, and then MSN is, the liberal channel, right? But I think that's what gamers have gotten away from. We're not looking at it how it's almost like we look at it like, okay, this is just a gaming channel. This is gaming, and now we're actually seeing no, this is more PlayStation focused. That's more. I mean, that might not be the case. They might just follow the dollar altogether. Like whoever's winning, that's who we run with. We just run with the lead horse. So if you're in the lead, we run with you. Like that might be the case too. But right now it's just like anything good that Microsoft does, it might come up as a bleep. Maybe it might show up.
Yeah.
Like if it's not like IGN won't cover anything serious unless it's like Game of the Month, and that's about it. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, Game of the Month, and then you won't hear anything from it until they say, oh, is it coming to PC? Okay.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. So it's like Quantum Break, right? The whole thing with whether it's coming to PC. Like, as soon as that story it, like the Brazilian rating board Brit, like every fucking
News outlet.
news outlet
Every
was
news
like
outlet.
jumping at the chance to write, is Xbox One about to lose an exclusive? Is
Yeah.
Quantum Break coming to PC?
Yeah.
Not talking
And they
about like the
did.
game like before, right? They're not talking about the game before, about how it's going to be a cool game and all
Right.
this stuff. Now the news is it's yeah, it's interesting to think about, but it's inherently negative because then it's
And-
like, oh, Xbox is losing
Yeah.
another exclusive, and and then they don't retract the statement when it's
No.
found out that like it's a mistake by the rating board. Now the news is out there in the ether that, oh well, Quantum Break. I heard from IGN that the pretty lady told me that Quantum Break was coming to PC, so I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy, or how they don't even fact check. I mean, basically that same Brazilian outlet reported Forza 2 and other Halo 3. I think they've done that in the past and been incorrect. But these people don't even dig, and they don't even try to find it out. They see, okay, here's an article that's going to really upset Xbox fans, and Sony fans are going to go crazy, and you know what? We're going to get millions of hits.
Yep.
So let's just push it out and not worry later. And then it's bullshit, and they don't retract it. And that's why Xbox fans are upset, because it's the same thing over and over. It's not fair, but people don't want to hear us say, oh, you're crying about me not fair. But the fact is that there is something going on, and we're giving you examples, and they're clear cut. But on the flip side, like I said, you have something where Sony's trying to do this thing with Let's Play, and nobody's talking about it. Or Witnesses 900p, and everyone thought it was 1080p, and threads are getting locked because they don't want to talk about it because nobody knew, and it's just bullshit, and it's.
But
So what we're saying here, everybody, is that all of us here are Xbox guys. It's clear. It's clear we're all Xbox guys. Everybody knows that.
unapologetic.
What we're saying is that we're not harping on Sony, whatever the case may be. We're just pointing out instances that are very clear this generation that there is some kind of a bias going on now.
Not only that, but
now-
I mean, we
go
want
ahead.
it fair on both ends. Like, if you do a positive article on Sony, we want a positive article on Xbox. Like, just be
Only
fair.
if it's warranted. I'm not saying every positive Sony article has to come with the positive Microsoft article, because the news doesn't work that way.
Right.
But what we're saying is that a lot of times, like you said, the whole Let's Play thing is a clear difference. If Microsoft had been trying to
Oh my God, man.
there would have been 80 articles about it. You know what I'm saying?
That was bullshit,
And I have something funny, because the 10 things that annoy me about Xbox, I started making a big thing, and the editor of that outlet hits me, and he goes, "Well, we have the same thing next week for Sony PlayStation," and I said, "You know what? I don't care. I'm not a fan of that type of journalism. It doesn't matter that he thinks it's okay that you're going to shit on Xbox, but next week we're going to shit on Sony, so it's okay. No. How about you just talk about the news or something? Stop trying to do these clickbait things. And this is a big outlet. I don't even want to say the name of it because I don't want to give them any kind of play. Yeah. But their answer was, "Oh, well, we're doing the same thing for Sony." Well, guess what? I don't care. You shouldn't do either. And of course, Xbox is first. It's leading off because that's the safe way to go.
And think about this, Tim. Did you ask him if he's doing a 10 things that annoy me about the Wii U?
Probably not at all.
Probably not, because it's not going to get any clicks because nobody has a Wii U. It's all about the click. It's all about the ad. That's what to get paid. These people have to provide content that people want to click on, and 10 things that annoy me about the Xbox will get people to click on it,
Right.
But not the Wii U because nobody has it, And even still, 10 things that annoy me about the PlayStation will probably get clicks because you'll have the PlayStation people coming in there. What do you mean? The PS4 is the beast of a machine. It does 1080p, 60 frames. How nothing can annoy you, like.
And then you have the Xbox fans who are gonna harp on it too. But how
Yeah.
about how about we just have game journalism where it's not so inflammatory, like that is just flaming the console wars. And to me, I don't care if you make a Sony. How about just try talking about things that actually and some of the stuff that they listed was just stupid. So it was obviously an article that they want to get clicks, and unfortunately, in the end, those articles get the clicks, and we have this argument. But the only way to really fight it is not to click it.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like we're just fighting a losing battle because it's like even the people that are writing probably don't even make the call on it. It's like their editor comes in like, "Have you finished the story?" Well, I don't know what to write. There was no news out. Write about Xbox doing something terrible. Well, we don't really have any news about Xbox doing anything terrible. I mean, other than this kid said he got dust on his thumbstick. Write about that. Kid got dust on his thumbstick. It's fucking horrible. Made my gaming experience the worst ever on Xbox. Like, that's literally what they do. It's just like, because anything that's bad Xbox gets you hella clicks. Anything that's pro Sony gets you hella clicks. That's what they do. That's their agenda, is to get the clicks. I mean, the consumers kind of dictating what the website is gonna watch. It's like, all these people just jumped on fucking this PlayStation bandwagon, and to be honest, I think this is the way I feel. The PC crowd is laughing their fucking ass off at these PlayStation dudes. Like, they really are. They're sitting there like, man, we pushed this propaganda because of this DRM. These motherfuckers didn't even know what DRM was until we told them, and we fucking pushed it, and they bought PlayStation, and we're laughing at these motherfuckers because they bought this console for games that we talk about we're going to buy. We don't, because we already have them, And it's to me, that's really what it is, man. It's
it's been an uphill battle this generation for a lot of Xbox fans. Everybody, like, I don't want it to turn into some kind of apology podcast because it's not. But it's just been it's been an uphill battle. It's been a lot of different things. We all see what's going on. But man, I'm glad to be an Xbox One guy and own an Xbox One, regardless of everything that's been going on, because they have been doing everything that they possibly can for us. A console is great. Everybody, if you haven't got one, go out and pick one up. I guess it's my little shameless plug. Microsoft needs to cut me the check now. Anyway,
cut them the check.
CTC. But let's go ahead and move on with
brought by Reds Apple.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on with the topics. And we're also right now, everybody, the live chat is going. So if you're listening live, any question that you have, we are going to do the 3 questions at the end of the show, and I still probably am going to be taking some here also too, just randomly that I see. So I did see one from it was a Titanfall Princess. She's in here showing love. She's another YouTuber. Also, you guys go check her out too. She had asked about what do we think about Killer Instinct Season 3 coming up also too? Because I mean, as you know, Street Fighter's coming up. That's going to be a great game for Street Fighter fans. I've never really been big into fighters myself, but I know Killer Instinct is one of my favorite fighters. If I had to pick one, that, like Tekken, those kind of games are always fun to me. I've never been a huge Street Fighter fan, honestly. Last time I played Street Fighter that was any good was Street Fighter like Hyper Edition or something crazy like that. But I want to get you guys' opinion on what do you guys think about the Killer Instinct Season 3 coming out. Are you guys hyped about that? Let's go ahead and get Paul's opinion.
Oh yeah, I'm super hyped about it. I was a big Street Fighter fan back in the day. Third Strike was like my favorite, but I have to say, it's become really stale. I've seen a lot of Street Fighter 5. I played a ton of Street Fighter 4. It's much of the same, honestly, and I find that Killer Instinct is just so much better. The Season 3 is gonna be fantastic. I can't wait for some of the characters to come out. What was the new one that just came out?
Kim Woo or something?
Kim Woo.
Yeah, Kim Woo.
Yeah.
That's going to be another awesome character. So, yeah, I mean, we're all super excited about Killer Instinct.
All right. What do you think about it, Matt?
I mean, I don't really have much to say about Street Fighter. I enjoyed Street Fighter 4. I was always more of a Mortal Kombat guy. I don't have a PlayStation, so I'm not getting Street Fighter 5. And even if I did, even if it did come to Xbox One, I probably wouldn't play because I'm not that much of a fighter guy anymore. I mean, I did play Mortal Kombat 10 when it came out. I'm probably not playing Killer Instinct Season 3. Yes, I mean, I don't know. I just don't really care anymore, essentially, about fighting games. I think I grew out of that phase. I do like watching. However, with that said, I do like watching people play it, like at Evo and stuff.
Evo, yeah.
I will check it out because, like, the high level play, I like watching the competitive stuff on that. Like, I'm no good at fighting games. Like, I'm terrible. Like, Tim could probably beat me. You know, like Tim would destroy me and stuff because I'm terrible at it. But I like watching it. Like, I tune in and watch some of the matches, and I just like marvel at how good some of those dudes really are. You know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What do you think about it live?
Man, I'm excited. The funny thing is, me and my brother, my boy, got back into to Killer Instinct just because they gave us that it came free with gold. So my boy is like a Django head. He don't play with anybody that's not Django. I'm like, come on, man, fucking cheating ass motherfucker, man. But yo, that game it's just nice, man. I could see they could in the future they could implement stuff like tag team easily because it's just like it's something that they can easily integrate into their system. So I mean, I'm amped for it. Hopefully they give us Conquer. That would be a hype. Like if you give us Conquer in the game, fucking shooting people and shit. That shit would be tough. Yeah, but I'm hyped for it because we only know the 3 characters that come in: Rash, Kim Woo, and Tough. So I'm really amped for that. My brother's getting the pro stick for it, so that shit is crazy. That shit's like $200 right there.
Oh wow!
I can't go that far. I got the elite. That was $150. That's as high I'm going. He was like, "Nah, I gotta go get pro stick." I was like, "Damn, pro stick, god damn."
So there is. I mean, Street Fighter does still have a following. Like, I mean, Street Fighter 4 was cool. My son, I still have it on my 360. And my son still plays it from time to time. So I mean, there's still the people that enjoy it. I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan, but let's go ahead and get Tim's opinion on that also too. What do you think about Killer Instinct Season 3 coming out?
I'm really excited about it. I'm like Rand, I suck, but I'm hoping I get a character that I really can get down with and feel more competitive. But I'm really looking forward to it. I've always been a fan of Killer Instinct. Kim Woo looks very good. She looks like she will be used a lot, and I do like the Battletoad. I like Rash. I've played with Rash, and he is. I feel like he is very. He's good. So he's a strong character. But I'm looking very forward to it. Like I said, I'm hoping that I can get better. I know actually Titanfall Princess pretty much plays all the time, and she twitches it. Mm-hmm. She's really good.
Yeah, she's really good, man.
But I wanna try to get good, and I'm hoping one of the characters I can really, grasp. But I haven't done too much. I heard the way to do it is do dojo mode and do all that. But Killer Instinct is one of my favorite franchises. I love fighting games. I will probably get Street Fighter V too, just because I've grown up with Street Fighter, and I love fighting games. Mortal Kombat. I think they have the DLC with Leatherface. I'm getting that. So anytime it's a fighter and it's high quality, I will get no matter what.
Hey Tim, you think these the Battletoad Rash, you think these cameos are actually going to lead to something?
Well, I think if Phil has a freaking avatar holding a Battletoad, so I think that there is a Battletoad game coming. I think that there's just too many signs. He's wearing the shirt. He has his avatar. He likes to tease like that. In the past, we've seen it done with Crackdown. Right now there's a listing for the Young Conquer with teen rating. So, that just came out of the works. It's just been just news that just came out. Yeah. So maybe they're going with a Conquer that's not so, cursing and stuff like that, because I think that they're trying to get a little younger audience. So, yeah, I do see Battletoads. I think Battletoads is coming this year. I think we're going to see that E3.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Battletoads has been one of those games we've talked about for the last, I want to say, like 2 years. Like another Banjo, things like that. Those are the games that we've been talking about that we really haven't seen much of. So, all right, that was a great topic, guys. So, I guess we're gonna go ahead and take some questions from the. We'll probably do more than 3. We got a little bit of time here left. We can always extend it. So, everybody that you guys posting questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat, or you can throw them on Twitter. Shoot everybody here the questions. Let's go ahead and see if we can grab a few that are here in the chat. Let's see.
Man, I'm out of beer.
All right, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, you guys get your questions ready.
Hey, babe.
Oh, okay. I got a question here.
Babe, I'm out of beer. I need some liquor.
Got a question here from Desert She-Wolf. Shout out to Desert She-Wolf. She said, how do you guys feel about the Xbox event is coming up fast and yet it's still hushed to the media? Kind of want to just get your opinion on that. Let's go ahead and start with Tim. What do you think about that event coming up and nobody's really covering it? Or is it you think that's deliberate or you think that's just...
This event, the February 25th event,
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think anything's going to be I think we're just going to see Quantum Break, and I don't think we're getting much. That's what I'm hearing from, from wherever. It's just an event that is really Windows focused.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone don't think that we're going to get a ton of information this close to E3. Because E3 is, where you bring out your big guns. I think we might get some little stuff, and it might change because as we get closer,
you think that'd be a good place for them to like show Cortana or something like that, maybe?
Yes, I do, but I think that's something like that is very that's a very good point. Something like that. That can tie them both in and stuff like that. Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna, if you're gonna see Battletoads, you're gonna see this, that you're not gonna see any of that. So for all Xbox fans, I think it's just something. From what I heard, it's just something that Xbox is part of the ecosystem. So, and that's pretty much essentially a Windows event. But they kind of just want. Some people there, but there's no fan fest. There's nothing going on that's big. So usually they have fans come down and they usually have something announced. Maybe we'll get something small, but Cortana, it sounds like something like that. Maybe they show off Cortana.
Yeah, speaking of Halo, they just revealed that the Arbiter is going to be in Killer Instinct Season 3.
That's
wow.
Huge.
There's a tease. I'm watching it right now on the tube.
Where?
Halo and Killer Instinct Season 3 tease. Yep.
Hold up.
Wow.
I didn't see that shit. Wait, hold up.
Holy shit.
Breaking news. That's
Hold up.
crazy.
Yeah, breaking news.
It's on the official Killer Instinct YouTube channel.
Christ.
That's
Jeez.
awesome.
Wow.
Wow, that's big news.
I
That's
figured
big
they
news.
would, because they did say they were going to do guests this year. Because there's only 2.
Huge.
But yeah, so it looks like Arbiter is going to be part of Killer Instinct Season 3.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I figured they'd have somebody from
You know
Halo.
what? They get a slow clap from me, everybody. They get one of those.
That's a pretty good energy sword.
Yes! I am pumped.
Nice. Oh, well, that's it. I had no idea about
We gotta see how he fights, man. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, that looks crazy. It's crazy. All right, if you can, Matt, you can just throw it in the live chat there. So the link in the live chat, maybe everybody can go take a look at that, man. I think that would be dope. So breaking news here. I had another topic too that I hadn't touched on yet. I wanted to talk about that too. Looks like my other right hand man, Asthmatic, just showed up. Everybody, Matt's in here. So yeah,
What's going on?
Yo.
chilling. What's going on, Matt? What's going on? Glad to have you here, man. So
Glad
one
to
of
be here, yeah.
Oh, fantastic, man. Always love to have you on the show, man. One of the things I want to talk about too that I damn near forgot. I'm glad I just looked at my notepad I had here in front of me. Was the news? I guess it's kind of big news. It's kind of not. I guess depending on the way you look at it. That I want to say the DirectX 12, not DirectX 12, but the Fable Legends.
I heard about that.
somebody from Lionhead Studios. I think it was the head of Lionhead Studios, and I don't. They're saying he said Xbox specifically about like a 40% performance difference, or it could just be another like I don't know misprint or something like that. But he is saying that there's definitely going to be some benefits from DX12. From games that are going to actually utilize it moving forward. He did throw a number. He did say 40%, which is the same number. Which is the same number that Brad Wardell said. If you guys remember a while back, he mentioned like 40%, but I think he was speaking strictly on PC. So what do you guys think about that news about DirectX 12 having this huge impact, possibly 40%? I don't know if that's just console as of yet. So let's start with Paul. What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of. I want to see DirectX 12. I want Fable Legends to come out. I'm in the beta and all that stuff. I'm playing it, but I want it to come out. I want to see more games with it.
Well, there have been games that they announced like Hitman.
Yeah, Hitman.
We're using it. There was another game too, I believe, that's using it too. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. But I think it's huge. I mean, to be able to have the GPU talk to multiple CPU cores at the same time is inherently going to give more performance. I mean, to think it's not is kind of dumb.
Yeah. And we're not talking about at the chip level here. We're not talking about because what you get inside the box is what you get in the box.
It's what you inside the box, correct.
There are still those limitations, so don't jump on us in the comment section, everybody. We know it's not going to magically change the hardware in the Xbox One. Go ahead, Paul.
No. Yeah, I mean, that's going to speed up. That's going to help you out with, the millisecond response times for frame rates. I mean, it's just it's going to be good.
All right. So what do you think about that, Asthmatic? Since we got two Matts here, I got to use your full tag now.
Sorry about that. But I think I'm excited to see this change coming. I have to admit that I'm not Mr. Super Technical guy where I'm always diving down into all these little things that are changing on the software hardware sides of things. But I think that this highlights one of my favorite things about console gaming, and it's that when you buy a box, the hardware is what it is, and that doesn't change, like you pointed out. And what I love to see from developers over the lifetime of a console is their ability to pull so much more performance out of the same piece of hardware. Like, if you look at the Xbox 360, like games like Cameo and Perfect Dark Zero that were launch titles, and then you understand that, for the most part, that's the same hardware that is today capable of running games like Destiny, which is so much more of an expansive world and so much more hardcore. And it's, when you're talking about DirectX 12 and the increased performance that we're going to be able to get out of that, it's awesome. And I love how it highlights that part of console gaming.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and like you said before, if you look at I always bring this up as whether you like the game or not, Halo 4 was a beautiful game. It probably could have came out on the Xbox One. Actually, it could have got away with it as well as it looked. But just to see that game was made on the same hardware as, like you said, cameos and launch titles and things like that is crazy. So it does make a huge difference. Let's go ahead and get your get your opinion on the. I don't know if you saw the actual article, but it was posted today, I believe, about the whole DirectX 12 situation.
Yeah, I read it. I don't know. Like, I can believe 40%'s a lot. Like,
that is a big. I think he also did say CPU more so. It wasn't really like GPU related. So I think he was more so just it's going to have more benefit on the CPU side of things. I think that's what he was mentioning.
I can see it benefiting PC more. I mean, Phil's even on record at a bunch of like interviews he's done where like he said like DX12 will help, but it's not going to be like this major super duper like awesome improvement. So I don't know. I mean, it's with wait and see approach. Because people were kind of surprised Division was 1080p. Is Division running DX12 on Xbox One?
I don't know.
I don't think it's running DX12. Now, I don't even know if they implemented it yet. They haven't really said anything.
I mean, because people were surprised. In fact, people were damn sure. Like, oh no, Division's 900p, and then Digital Foundry came out and said no, it's 1080p, and people, I don't know, this goes to the whole thing Tim said earlier about The Witness, right? People were like, I really love this game, 1080p for the win, and it's like, no, it's 900. It goes back to the fact that you can't see resolution, folks. You can't tell unless you're sitting there counting the pixel lines. You're not going to be able to tell. Just enjoy the game, whether it's 1080p or 900.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, there's people that swear that they can see the
Oh,
Jaggies.
oh,
though.
yeah.
They can see the Jaggies.
those people, I don't know. But no, I mean, if it helps with development, if it makes, game development smoother, streamlined, faster, games perform better, then hey, that's great. That's great news.
Yeah, I think that's where the biggest. That's where I'm looking at too, Rand. The biggest benefits are going to be just on the development side with them actually making the game, making things more streamlined, them having access to more tools, just more efficiency, which is going to inherently help the game itself, regardless of it's a frame boost or if it's a resolution boost. And whatever's going to help is fine with me. So in the development process, and it also makes porting games really easy too. That's another thing that DirectX 12 is going to do well. Porting over games from like PC to Xbox, whatever the case may be. It's a really fast process. I can't remember. It was some game they ported over in like a few hours. It was crazy with DirectX 12. I don't remember the exact game. But Live, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think as far as DirectX 12, I don't really think you're gonna see like, you're not gonna look at the PlayStation version and then look at the Xbox version, but oh my God, Xbox shits all over PlayStation now. It's fucking great. Like, it's not gonna be that. What it will do is probably smooth things out. Like, you don't get stutters where we have games where stutters where you go from a big section to another big section, or you just don't have those little tiny issues that they couldn't really work out. Those things will be smoothed out. That's all I think it is. That's why Phil says you're not going to see a drastic change. It's because it's going to look the same. It's just the little minor issues are going to be smoothed out. So that's what I'm thinking. It's going to really be the case as far as DirectX 12. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, guess what? All games are in 4K now. Like, no.
No.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get that, obviously. All right, so Tim, just to kind of wrap this topic up, what do you think, man, about that? About this? I think he was the CEO of Lionhead said that.
Yeah, well, I mean, DirectX 12 is going to make things easier, like Phil said, or is going to open things up. One of the biggest things is draw calls, the way the GPU and CPU talk is now going to be extremely efficient with DirectX 12. Also, I believe that Brad Wardell said with the ESRAM, they're using a new a way of it's called PIX, supposedly getting 15% more before for previous software build. So to me, listen, I used to be big into this and I used to talk about it, and then GDC last year happened, and they falsely said that it was 20% more powerful. Here's the bottom line. I'm not into the DirectX 12 anymore. I really believe what Phil said is the way you have to look at things. Let the games do the talking. You look at a game like The Division, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So many of these armchair devs said this game was 900p.
Mm-hmm.
Some even said it was 720p, okay? They wanted it to be 900p, okay? Even when it was told to them that it was 1080p from VG Gamer, they didn't want to believe it. The bottom line is that game at 1080p is impressive for Xbox One, in my opinion. So I don't think that game 2 years ago is going to be. I think it's going to be 900p, to be honest. So I do see Xbox closing a little tighter as far as in the resolution gap, as far as it goes. But at the end of the day, let's be honest. The 900p is completely fine. Most 90% of the people can't tell. So this whole resolution argument to me is done.
Yeah.
It's over with. If Plants vs Zombies is 900p, it's okay to me. If Quantum Break is 900p, it is not going to make that game look any. That game is Rise, the best looking console game in my opinion, out of any console right now is Rise. It's 900p.
Even Tomb Raider?
I think Rise takes it a little. I think Rise takes it over Tomb Raider. It's close, but point being is that just let the games do the talking. Don't think that there's going to be a DirectX 12, and I've been I've done it myself. you're not going to get magic out of this. It's just an
Definitely,
API,
definitely.
and just let the games do the talking. Just try not to be an armchair dev like we all have tried to be. We cannot. It's a lot more that goes to it, and it all comes down to a developer's prowess. Not all developers are created equal.
Yeah.
And you get a game like Division that's 1080p on Xbox One, because PS4 you kind of expect it. It's just showing that it's the Xbox is a capable system, and it's going to get better as time goes along.
And
DirectX
Tim, people on your favorite website are pissed about that, right?
yeah,
They're
I know.
pissed because, like, since Xbox One is 1080p and PlayStation's 1080p, and they're both 30 frames, that the Xbox, like, Ubisoft is doing parity, and they're fucking pissed. They're like, well, no, the PS4 should be 1080p 60 frames per second. It's like, look, PS4 is a little bit more powerful. It's not a fucking, like, that much more powerful.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, calm down. Like, people take that stuff way too seriously.
It's
Like,
not a supercomputer? Oh my god, I thought it was a supercomputer!
I don't understand why people can't be like, hey, they're both 1080p, they're both 30 frames. I'm sure the PS4 version probably holds the frames a bit better or some shit, and that'll be it. But people are like, no, it needs to be 1080p 60 frames because if the Xbox One could do 1080 30, you know.
Those same people were swearing up and down that it wasn't going. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I didn't think it was going to be 1080p. I look at that game and I'm like, I mean, from the alpha might not have been 1080p because alpha looked a little rough around the edges. I mean, I played last night and my jaw was, I had to pick it up off the ground. I mean, that game, 1080p.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's good things. Good things. It's a good thing that Xbox is hitting that. But at the end of the day, if Xbox was 900p, let's be honest here. Nobody would really know. Nobody knows. Everyone. Yeah. These people that talk about it, they need to be told. So my opinion on the whole resolution argument and the whole power thing is that it is what it is. We know the system.
Yeah.
The specs of the system. We need to move on.
Definitely. Yeah, so I mean, I've never been on one, particularly on my channel. Just what I do, I don't really harp on, and I think it's a dead discussion anyway. It's been a dead discussion for a long time. So okay, it looks like we're gonna go ahead and start taking questions here. We need 3 questions, everybody, in the down in the chat section there in the live chat going on. Let's take a few questions from there, and I know She-Wolf had another question, and then okay, Tryhard had that question also too. But let's go ahead and get started with She-Wolf's question. And it's how do you guys feel about the new Xbox updates? I know there were some updates that just came out recently. They're going to be adding some new things here also, more things here pretty soon also too. We got the community calendar. We got the fact that you can see everybody that's in the chat before you decide to jump in like a party
Thank
chat.
God.
Yeah, that too. You can now rearrange your pins on like the home page. Things like that, which is kind of just small features, but something that we've been asking for as Xbox fans. So I'm gonna go through the panel real quick and ask everybody their opinion. So let's go ahead and start with Paul on this one. What's your opinion on the new updates? How you like them?
They're fantastic. Some of my favorites is like the pins now. You know, I get to move them around, do that. I also like seeing party chats. You can see who's actually in the party chat.
Yes.
And be like, do I want to go in there? Do I not want to go in there? You know.
Yeah.
And also it's bittersweet for me, but the gamer score leaderboards is fantastic. I'm happy they're back, but like I said before, Rand's on my friends list, so
he's on all of ours. Sorry. Like shit, like we don't even play video games.
I know, right?
Man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, don't worry. At some point, you guys will be ahead of me. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Good point. Good point. So, Asmatic, what do you think about the updates? How are you enjoying those?
I'm really liking it, man. Honestly, I'm really only in the last couple months really getting into like pinning everything and having everything there because I'm all about my Kinect, so I'm usually hopping through the system with my voice. But lately, I started using pins a lot, and I was like, dude, it would be sweet if I could move these around however I want, and bam, here it is. I can rearrange those guys. I missed not having the gamer score leaderboard, so I'm really happy that that's back. So, yeah, it's super great. Making the old Xbox One experience better every month.
And aren't there a few hidden features too? I know you do like the series on your channel, Matt, where you're gonna be showcasing like some of the smaller features. Aren't there some other features too? Correct me if I'm wrong, Rand. There should be some other features too
You can like broadcast your chat to Twitch now.
Yeah,
that,
that's in there.
yeah.
In fact, Tim was doing like a daily thing with
Yeah,
when that eventually starts working properly.
not a daily, a once a week thing.
Once a week. But yeah, someone, a buddy of mine on Twitter posted. I don't know if you saw this, Tim, but apparently there was another stealth update to from this thing where you can now in the accessory app you can rearrange the chat pad stuff. You can program some of the buttons,
on
which
the
wasn't there before, but now is suddenly.
Yeah. You can program a button just to snap
squeeze. Yeah,
stuff like that.
They're getting pretty deep. Quick and his team. Mike, they do a great job. It's nice seeing Gamerscore leaderboard back. That's. Hey, look, and okay, so I'm on top of your guys' leaderboard. I'm like not even the top 10 on mine. I look at mine and I just hang my head.
Thanks for the consolation, man.
But it's good too, man. It gives you motivation to go further.
That's true.
Yeah, keep going.
That's why they'll never include a monthly or yearly and all time because they want to keep it to a competition where 30 days is changes can be made a lot in 30 days. We're not so much monthly or yearly or whatever like that. But at the party thing, seeing who's in that is like a godsend to me because I'll check now, all right, who's in the party? Who do I want to go in there? Kind of scout the because I like the party hop sometimes. I'll jump into PTKs and mooches, I'll jump into Tim's and stuff like that. So I like that they're improving the system. Every month essentially. It's we're getting something. I can't wait to see what they're, going to be doing next, right? I don't even know. Sometimes you think about what could they do?
Mike said too. Remember what Mike said? He said that. Didn't he mention something about they have something bigger than backwards compatibility?
Backwards compatibility, yeah.
And I like the fact that Phil told Gamers Knows Best that they put the Gamerscore leaderboard back in there for me. So, thanks, Phil.
Nice. Appreciate it. Yeah, so Live, what do you think? Are you enjoying the updates, Live?
No, not at all. No, why? Because I don't have the motherfucking updates. You fucking preview program people.
Oh man,
I would enjoy them.
Brother, I didn't mean to do that, man.
I tried. I missed it, man. They told me I couldn't. It was full at the time when I tried to check in. I was like,
oh man, Tim, time to pick up that green phone again, buddy.
I know, man. Tim, hook me up. I get another Xbox just so I can do the preview.
I don't think that they're adding any in the preview anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're adding.
I know it's fucked up, man. But that does sound nice, especially the knowing who's in the party chat.
Yeah.
Just because some people seem cool. You got crazies on both sides. It's not just Sony's side. It's our side too. We got crazies over here too. Some people just ask you to do crazy shit. Yeah. Oh, I'm a subscriber. I want to play fucking Jet Force Gemini for 8 hours. I'm like, no. 8 hours, 30 minutes, but not 8 hours.
Yeah. So that's a feature too that everybody kind of wanted to have also too. So they've been doing some things, and like Rand said, I'm just curious to see if Mike that came straight from his mouth, that quote about they had something bigger planned. So who the hell knows what it is? I don't know. Maybe the Xbox will get up and cook you breakfast or something. I'm not sure what the fuck they're gonna do at this point. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Because people change their gamer tags, so just so you know, be like, oh no, I don't focus that dude right there.
Yeah.
I don't care what the hell is this week.
It'd be funny if Xbox got folders before PlayStation.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Jamie just shout out to Jamie Moran. He just tweeted that out too. Shout out Jamie, one of the listeners of the show. He just said, "What if Xbox stealth added folders? That would be hilarious. That would be really funny." All right, so let's go ahead and take 2 more questions here, and then we're gonna call it. Let's see what else we got down in here. We need a couple more questions, people.
I just wanted to put in one of the things.
Go ahead. Tim.
One of the things that I thought was great was I remember one day, a lot of guys call me a fanboy and stuff, but there are times where I'm critical of Xbox. And there was this one day, it was about Christmas time, where somebody was like, "How the hell do you find Xbox Find a code?" Okay, this is I have no idea how to find this, and I said, "Okay." He said, "Do you have a Kinect?" He said, "No." So I tried to find Xbox Find a user code. Okay, it took me about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I
Deep
went
in there.
and I went on a rant, and people saw it, and they actually responded to me, "We'll work on it." Well, just 2 days ago, Xbox user code is now visibly in games. When you go right to games, it's right there and it's highlighted.
Mhm.
So that's the type of interaction that Xbox fans are getting right now, where that wasn't even put in the feedback. That was just something that I went on a rant on Twitter, and people agreed with. And instead of getting, argumentative or mad about it, they actually took the input and then they do something like that. So that's why I love the monthly updates, is because this company is listening to us, and the more we come up with things, the things it can grow. So just everyone have your ideas, put it on the feedback. There's never an idea that's not good. Just put it out there, because they're listening, and it's a great thing.
When Tim Dog speaks, Redmond listens.
Hey, tell me about it. It's that green phone. It's like a bat phone. I'm trying to tell you, man, directly to Phil's fucking phone right next to his bed. Anyway. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into some of these questions that we have here. I got a couple questions here just before we go ahead and wrap up the show. Let's see. I don't know much about this game, but I guess I can ask a question. The question was, what do we think? Are we looking forward to that? I guess it's Cyberpunk 2077. I have heard about the game. I haven't actually looked it up. Is it possibly going to come out or anything like that? Are you guys looking forward to it? God damn you, Rand. All right, so let's go ahead and let Rand go, since you already on board. So you looking forward to that, Rand?
Fuck you, goddamn right. Goddamn right. It's the next game from CG Projekt Red.
Okay.
Cyberpunk 2070. You're goddamn right. Oh god, I can't wait for whenever that game comes. There's even an Easter egg in The Witcher 3 about that game. But yeah, there's only that trailer, but I'm fucking hyped for it. Who knows when it's gonna come out? 2019, 2020, Xbox fucking Infinity, PlayStation 5. I don't care. Whatever. I'm getting that game. That game's gonna be fucking badass because they're really 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 good developers.
Yeah, they're excellent. CD Projekt Red. They got a lot of money for making that Witcher 3 too. It did really successful, really well made game of the year. So they'll definitely. I mean, if it's coming out of them, I'm pretty sure we're all looking forward to it. They do good work. So the last question I have here is we don't really, when we talk about 2016. I know some of us here in the podcast bring this game up, but a lot of times, since most of us, some of us think it'll probably be pushed to 2017. It may even come this year. But Sea of Thieves. Another question was from She-Wolf. And she said, do you guys think it'll actually release this year? Now, I think I'm of the mind that I don't think it's going to come this year. If it does, it'll be late this year from Rare. But let's go ahead and go around the panel one more time. Do the last question of the night. What do you guys think about it? Let's go ahead and start with Asthmatic this time.
Now, my really only question on that would be, did they say when they started developing it?
What, Sea of Thieves?
Yeah. Because, I mean, how long has that been in development that we didn't know about it?
I don't know. Anybody got any idea?
No idea.
How long it's been in development?
I mean, that's really what's going to make that.
You ran, possibly? You got any idea?
I'm not sure when it started. I asked somebody for how % complete it was, and I was kind of surprised by the answer, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe if it's a 2016, that's definitely going to be a Q4. I feel like we'll get our answer at E3, either yes Q4 or 2017. So, I don't know.
All right. What do you think about that, Paul? Sea of Thieves, you think it's going to make 2016?
Honestly, probably not, and for good reason. I don't want it to come out in Q4. I want it to have its own month by itself. I want it to do well. I'm pretty hype about that game. I mean, all of us getting on a pirate ship and just going crazy and going against other pirates is awesome. So at this point, I'm kind of leaning towards it's going to get pushed back.
Okay. All right. What do you think, Rand? Since I know you have different information than us, but from what you can say,
I mean, it's not that I have different information. It's just that I mean, personally, I don't think it's coming out this year, but they have been kind of talking it up lately. Like Aaron's talked about it, which is kind of weird if the game's not coming out this year. I don't know. Maybe a September release.
So yeah, I was just gonna ask you that. Where do you think it could fit if it was?
Yeah, it would have to be before the holidays.
The holidays,
yeah. Definitely.
But I was always like, my thing was like, I don't know, that game seems kind of ambitious, especially for Rare. Because I mean, when's the last time Rare's actually made a like an actual game?
Yeah.
Like, because like they made Rare Replay, which is just porting of all the old games, right? Yeah. And then the games before that were both net games, right? So what was their last proper game they made? Was it Banjo?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been quite some time, and I don't know.
Rare's a pretty big studio too, I've heard.
Yeah, they are. They're a big studio. So I mean, I'm gonna still go on and say it's not coming out this year. I don't think so.
Okay. All right. What do you think about Sea of Thieves Live? You think it's dropping this year? And if this year, like when this year?
This year. If it drops this year, I would say July. That's the only time I could see him dropping it. After that, I would just wait until next year, maybe May.
That's a good one.
I just like new IP, MMO. You can't really drop it near. I mean, basically, you could drop it any time in between February and July. That's it. That's your time frame. After that, that's like the big dogs. The big dogs go after that. So
Okay.
All right. So I doubt it's coming this year.
Oh, so you're leaning towards 2017 also?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, because they don't really. I mean, it's nice. I would like it, but I'd much rather have Record this year than Sea of Thieves this year.
Okay. Good point. I would too, honestly. Good point. Sure. So let's go ahead and wrap this up with Tim Dog. What do you think? Sea of Thieves 2016, possibly sliding in 2017?
I see it. No, I see it's gonna get. I mean, I have no idea, but I'm gonna say no. It's gonna get ported to 2017.
Okay. All right.
I think that's gonna be the last delay. But I wish I would know what Rand knows, but other than that, I could see it being delayed. Yeah. But I have no idea.
All right. So that was a great topic too. So looks like that's gonna wrap everything up as far as the Shop podcast for this Saturday evening. Man, you guys been rocking with me for a long time today. I did the Q&A with Mooch. Shout out to Mooch if he's listening in. We appreciate the support on that. And the Shop podcast always successful for the looks like about 35 people in here rocking out with us. I appreciate you guys tuning in again for another hour and a half or so with me. Appreciate it that much. Want to go ahead and round the panel. Let everybody just kind of give themselves a shout out if you have something you want to promote, whatever the case may be. So we'll start with you, Paul.
All right, guys, what's up? Gamers Knows Best here. Come check us out. Got a lot of Division gameplay up lately. Been playing the crap out of that. Monday's the new 100,000K video, so look out for that. That's it for me.
All right, Asthmatic, you have something that you want to say? Plug yourself a little bit, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Check me out on YouTube right here at Asthmatic, and got a video every Monday talking about what's going on Xbox that week. I was a little absent this week. I apologize. I had some crazy school stuff that came out of nowhere and bogged me down. But like PTK mentioned earlier, I am going to be starting a series pretty soon, just pretty much diving into all the features of your Xbox One and everything that console can do. So there's a lot of people out there who I feel like would use their system for more than they do, but that's just because they don't know everything that it does, and I want to help fill that void.
Appreciate it. Good point. So, Matt, what you got for us?
Yeah, so I know over at the TXR podcast, was the one me and Tim do on Mondays with South. I was actually got to interview the Thomas Mahler of Ori and the Blind Forest. I thought it was a really good interview, so if anybody wants to go check that out, you can head on over there. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay, live.
What's going on? It's your boy Live. You know, Xbox unapologetic motherfucker on this podcast. And yes, you fucking ponies, you motherfuckers, y'all talking all that crazy shit about damn all these Metacritic scores, and I'm looking at Metacritic now. How the fuck does Rise of the Tomb Raider have 151 people that gave it I'm so fucking drunk right now. They gave it negative reviews. 151? Are you fucking crazy? Like, you should be smacked 151 times for putting that bullshit up there. Fucking. And that's why I can't deal with you motherfuckers. It's insane. Fucking insane. But this is your boy Live Wire. And I'm out this bitch.
Alright, Tim, what you got?
Nothing. I just, I'm a big community guy, and I'm on Twitter, and I try to get everyone involved. So follow me on Twitter. Search Twitter for Tim Dog. You'll see a green avatar. You can click on it and just follow and talk. You know, it's about the community. Everyone in this podcast is big community members, and just happy to be a part of this community. Really knockout community. It's a great to be a part of.
All right, cool. Well, that's our show today, everybody. We appreciate you guys coming out and rocking with us. Like I said, I always just appreciate the guests that come on. Well, we'll be looking at some other people next week, trying to get some things squared away next week. So, Shop Podcast will resume. Got to throw some videos up early next week also, too. I'm PTK BLAM. This is the Shop Podcast, everybody, and we're out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. You guys have a safe one, and we're out of here, everybody.
All right. Peace.
Take it easy.